special salute for Tom. Of course, we can't do a 21 gun salute. Of course, here we'll have the sheriffs here. But Jeff had put together a 21 firework in the sky because Tom and I, or all of us, just love fireworks, and we all know how I like fire. So they'll go off 21 fireworks up in the sky. So if you want to stay, you can share with Dad, or if not, we'll do a salute for him.
Sorry I could not be with you all tonight, so I thought I would send a few short stories about Tom that you may not know and get all of you laughing and telling your stories. Factoid number 1. Did you know that Tom was named after 2 family friends from Galveston, where we were born and raised? Thomas, after Big T, Tom, who owned and operated a tugboat fleet from Galveston to New Orleans. Tom even worked on the tugs one summer and loved to hate the hardest job he ever had. Hugh was his middle name. Another Galveston entrepreneur with a yacht that took us boating for a day now and then. Factoid number 2. Did you know that Tom was raised mostly by his grandmother, Flora Earle, who lived with us for 20 years after her retirement from being a seamstress? Our mom was older when Tom was born, and she did not get along with mother-in-law, so she went to work at a bank in D.C. while Flora spoiled Tom by feeding, clothing, and educating him. Story number 1. Did you know that Tom was rambunctious and mischievous as a kid? Yeah, that's a shocker.
No, I don't see it.
Yep. One day, while Mom and Dad were playing cards at the neighbors, I think Tom picked up playing cards from Mom and Dad too, because we do that all the time. Flora was reading, I was studying, and Tom was playing with the kid next door. Tom came into the house, called 911, and reported he is trying to kill me with a pair of scissors. A very tall policeman came to the door and asked to speak to Tom. The story was the neighbor boy caught Tom messing up the leaf pile his dad had just raked and was afraid of getting into trouble, so he shooed Tom off the property by pointing a pair of clay scissors at him. Tom was 7. Needless to say, Mom and Dad had to explain when to call 911, and then we had a big laugh. That was classic Tom. Story number 2. Did you know that Tom's rambunctiousness nature led him to be pulled out of high school for bad behavior and sent to military high school? Mom and Dad sent Tom to Massanutten Military Academy to complete high school and get some discipline. Tom earned ranks from private to sergeant, but was busted several times for minor rule infractions, such as having a girl in an all-male dorm, being caught off campus after hours, caught carrying a 6-pack of beer into campus, and having a suspicious bag of something in his dresser drawer that he claimed wasn't his. Tom ended his day at the academy as a valedictorian of his class. Ironic or just our Tom? Hope you have some stories too. If anyone has music on their phone, please play him off. The Saints Go Marching In with our Cajun roots on Mom's side. Party on.
Where the purple flowers are.
Good. Should I concentrate going on?
I met Tom when I was 18 and Tom was 21. When he came to Shreveport to visit with his friend from Lafayette, Louisiana. I moved to Baton Rouge the following year and spent many weekends at the Little House, going out drinking and dancing on the streets of Lafayette, and of course eating. I remember Thomas's computer in the Little House because he was my only friend with a computer, 1980-81, so it was a while ago. Bass Class, that means low class in French, was our favorite local band, and they played most often at the Branch Street Dance Hall, where we danced the wildest and fastest we could dance. Juire was the place for red beans and rice and smothered meat and gravy, always necessary for our recovery from the night before. This message from an unknown source came to me today. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness, bad days give experience. Worst day gives lessons, and best days give memories. Thanks, Tom, for the best days for my memories.
And then we go reach out to the city hall. And I know right now he's looking down into the city. Let the good times roll.
Here.
Tom had a very special place in my heart,
And he does with everybody. That's why they're all here.
and I'm very glad that you can